First in the league in fast break points.
Clark connects on a deep three.
The WNBA may not showcase the same above-the-rim excitement as the NBA, but saying it wasn't entertaining before Caitlin Clark showed up? That's just unfair. It overlooks the impact of stars like Breanna Stewart and Sue Bird, players who helped build and elevate the league over the years. That said, Clark has undeniably brought a completely new level of attention. We've never seen a women's basketball player generate this kind of hype and widespread buzz before.
And now Clark comes up with a steal. Clark thought about pulling up from three, will dip inside and lay it in. There are the first points in the WNBA career of Caitlin Clark.
Take it at the rim. Here, hesitation. You have to come on her. It goes by. Her first two.
She's got the whole sports world talking, and honestly, that's a positive. For the first time in a long while, even casual fans are paying attention to the WNBA, something that once seemed out of reach. Maybe Clark's influence mirrors what Michael Jordan did in the early 90s, turning the NBA into a global powerhouse and a massive business. Now, Caitlin Clark seems to be having a similar effect on the WNBA, though for different reasons. Her game is all about pure talent and electrifying skill, and it's captivating audiences everywhere.
All over her. Clark eyes up. Bounces to Boston. Boston one-on-one with Jones will flip it in.
The stats speak for themselves, and they make it clear that Caitlin Clark is truly changing the game.
Right. He do this every game. No. She needs to start all the way back there because her regular shots start right here. Start all the way back here. You see that? All right, back up.
Attendance in the WNBA is surging. The spotlight is brighter than ever, and Caitlin Clark has been the driving force behind it all. She's quickly become the face of the league, the kind of figure women's basketball has long been waiting for. But not everyone is fully on board with her rise.
Reality is coming.
Okay.
There's levels to this thing, and that's just life. We all went through it.
It seems some veterans aren't exactly happy about a rookie taking over the spotlight. Take Lynette Woodard, a legendary scorer at the college level. When Caitlin Clark broke her record, the response wasn't exactly celebratory. So, yeah, the whole Woodard situation definitely deserves a closer look.
I am the hidden figure, but no longer now. My record was hidden from everyone for 43 years. 43 years. I don't think, I'll just go ahead and get the elephant out of the room. I don't think my record has been broken because you can't duplicate what you're not duplicating. And so unless you come with a men's basketball and a two-point shot, hey, you know. But just for you, so you can understand, so you can help me spread that word.
Lynette Woodard was a dominant scorer in her time, widely respected for her achievements and legacy. However, when Caitlin Clark surpassed her record, Woodard's reaction wasn't fully celebratory. Instead, she emphasized that comparing different eras isn't straightforward and suggested that the context of the game has changed significantly over time.
It meant the world to me that Coach would say that I had the true record. That record has been hidden, so to speak, for 43 years. And for her to be in another stratosphere with her team, trying to get to the Final Four, for her to take the time and say that, I'll never forget it as long as I live.
It's reasonable to acknowledge what Woodard accomplished and the era she played in, but the argument here is that criticizing Caitlin Clark for breaking the record doesn't really hold up. Woodard played under very different conditions, no three-point line, different rules, and a different style of basketball, so direct comparisons across eras are often debated. A similar point is often made in other sports discussions, like when LeBron James surpassed scoring milestones set by Kareem, where both players and fans largely recognize the differences in eras rather than treating it as a conflict. The idea here is that records evolve with the game. And rather than diminishing past achievements, the renewed attention around Clark's milestone has also brought more recognition to earlier legends like Woodard and her accomplishments.
Super cool, like Coach Woodard said, is like, the NCAA didn't want to recognize women and what they did back in the 1980s. I think it just speaks to the foundation that these players have laid for us to have opportunities to be able to play in environments like this, in front of crowds like this. So I wouldn't have the opportunity to be able to do what I'm doing every single night if it wasn't for people like her. And obviously there's so many great players across the board. So I'm just really thankful and grateful to have those people that have come before me. And yeah, it's super special. Obviously she's one of the best all times, could certainly score the ball. But I think it just shows, Title IX is not that long ago. 50 years is not that long ago. And I think it just still shows the room that we have to improve, and where women's sports is going is a really great place.
Maybe Woodard should actually be appreciating Caitlin instead of being upset. Yet another basketball champion seems to be criticizing Caitlin. It appears Cheryl Swoops, a well-known WNBA legend, is also not very pleased about Caitlin holding the scoring record. Similar to Woodard, Swoops has suggested that Caitlin only broke the record because she played more games, trying to minimize her accomplishment. Did she really say that? At first, it might sound believable because of her confidence and reputation. But a quick fact check shows she's actually incorrect. Caitlin did not need extra games to break the record. In fact, she achieved it in fewer games. For example, Plum's record stood at 139 games, while Caitlin broke it in just 126 games. Even though Swoops sounded convincing, the numbers tell a different story. Something doesn't add up here. She also claimed Caitlin was taking around 40 shots per game to reach her scoring totals. However, basic stats show Caitlin averaged only about 18 to 22 shots per game in college, far from what was suggested. It seems like having experience as a great player like Swoops, or even being a rising star like Angel Reese, doesn't automatically mean the analysis is correct. The reason Reese is mentioned here is because she has also appeared somewhat critical of Caitlin. Some believe Reese is bitter toward her. Even though Reese's team won a state championship, Caitlin was still drafted ahead of her and selected as the top pick, which surprised many. It feels like Caitlin is facing criticism from all sides simply because of her popularity. From veterans to newcomers, everyone seems to have something to say. And speaking of veterans, Lexi Brown has also been criticized for seemingly throwing shade at Caitlin Clark regarding the situation where Ice Cube reportedly offered her a large amount of money to play. This is her perspective on it. The question being raised is why Caitlin is being criticized for this in the first place. Caitlin was offered a significant payday for just a few games, while Lexi has been working for years in the league for much smaller earnings. Instead of creating controversy, some suggest Lexi could have simply given Caitlin honest advice, explaining both the advantages and disadvantages like a true teammate or friend. For example, she could have told her to take the $5 million deal and then come back to dominate the WNBA season afterward. However, some believe Lexi may be frustrated or jealous that a rookie is being offered such a large amount of money for so few games. At the same time, Caitlin hasn't exactly been warmly welcomed overall. She was not selected for the Olympic team despite her strong talent, yet she continues to perform at a high level. She's putting up impressive numbers in points, rebounds, and steals, and is looking like a strong candidate for Rookie of the Year. Meanwhile, criticism keeps coming from different directions. Lexi Brown's comments about the Ice Cube offer have added to the debate, and some feel there is jealousy in the league over a rookie potentially earning more in a short time than long-established players. Whatever the reasons behind the criticism, it seems to only be fueling Caitlin Clark even more. She continues to perform at a high level and keep proving herself on the court. It raises the question people keep debating. Did she deserve a spot in the Olympic team, or was she overlooked?